Hello everybody, welcome back to the Quick Take and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. If you are new, make sure you subscribe, like the video and comment. Before I continue, I would like to quickly remind you I am running a giveaway with ownasaber.com where at 15,000 subscribers you could be in with a chance at winning the King of London lightsaber, the perfect saber for every Chelsea fan. 3 participants will be chosen and all you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel and check the pinned comment down below for more information. And with that, on with the video. Yes, well, Chelsea are in a bit of bother at the moment. I put out a video yesterday venting my frustrations, and since then I was reading the comments and I realised maybe it wasn't the best idea to be so rash in my decisions. I still stand by a lot of the things I said. I still think we are in quite a lot of trouble with a lot of the things that are going on behind the scenes and on the pitch, but I just thought it was the best to take that down. So we have some news coming in from CFC Pice. This was originally reported by Matt Law. Matt Law, as you know, quite an interesting figure across the Chelsea community. Hated by many. Mauricio Pochettino retains the full support of Egbali and Bowley, with the first team staff and the Chelsea owners confident that results will soon start to reflect the data they are carefully studying. Now, this is quite an interesting point to me. It says the results will soon start to reflect the data that they are carefully studying. What this tells me is that they somewhat believe that they kind of know what they're doing. It kind of reminds me of Moneyball. For those of you who don't know, Moneyball is a really good film. I think it's Brad Pitt, Chris Pratt, loads of other brilliant names. And it's all about the story of, I can't remember what team it was. It was a baseball team, and the general manager realized that he didn't have the funds, or that the funds weren't available to him to compete against the big teams, you know, the Red Sox and such. And so he enlisted the help of Jonah Hill, not the actor. Jonah Hill was playing a person. It would be a bit crazy if Jonah Hill was helping a baseball team with recruitment and such. But he hired this guy who was all about the data and analytics, and he recommended all of these players who were really good to get into first base in baseball, but they were odd players. They were players that were out of contract, players that were nearly 40 years old, players that no one really wanted. And they brought them all into the team, and for the first half of the season, they were doing absolutely terribly. And the whole kind of first 2 chapters of the film basically is trust the process. And by the end of it, the team went on to win, I think, 20 games in a row, which was a record-breaking run of games in baseball, and it's well remembered through the film Moneyball. I don't know if they're trying to do this. Obviously, the funds aren't as limited as they were in the film. We seem to have basically unlimited funds. We spent over $1 billion on players since the start of the takeover, but it does seem like there have been some issues, or there have been some mistakes along the way. One being obviously not bringing in a world-class striker and trusting Nicholas Jackson, who is now suspended, not from a red card, but from 5 yellow cards and I think 6 league games, which means he will be out for the game against Brighton coming up on Wednesday in the Carabao Cup, which will be quite an interesting game, having no Nicholas Jackson. It does mean either Armando Broja or, I mean, hopefully David Washington gets a shoe in. I'd quite like to see David Washington get a few minutes, even start. That'd be quite interesting. Washington, Mudryk, you know, we'll see what happens, but that's on Wednesday. But yeah, listen, I expected this. I never really expected Pochettino to be gone out the door after 6 games. I really don't. I think he will struggle to get to Christmas, and here's why. We have quite an interesting run of games, including like Man City, Tottenham, Newcastle, Brighton, Man United, like all these teams. It's all clumped together. And if he's able to get through those games with more than 6 points, bravo, give him a knighthood. But I don't see it happening, especially not with the way the team's playing now, not with the injuries we have. Obviously, injuries can happen at any time, and for us, they've been happening all the time. And so it's not, I'm not walking into this run of fixtures thinking, okay, well, we'll have certain players back by then. Who knows? We could lose Enzo. Enzo could do his ACL. Caicedo could do his ACL. We could lose Mudryk. We could lose Sterling. We could lose Robert Sanchez, could break his leg in a freak accident, tripping over some wiles or something. Anything could happen between now and then that could disturb any sort of momentum we're trying to build. And so I really do think Pochettino has his back up against the wall. No, he's been backed up against the wall, and he's not got many avenues to escape, really. It's quite a difficult job he's walked into, and I'm sure he knew the level of trials and tribulations he would have to undertake when taking this job, but it does seem like he's struggling at the moment. As I said, I think we've got 1 win, 2 draws, and 3 losses this season already, something like that. It's really not good. It will need to be sorted and sorted soon, otherwise we will be looking for another manager. I don't know who. Hansi Flick, as I said, I mentioned him loads of times. I'm a big fan of Hansi Flick. He's available, right now. Arne Slot, you never know. Arne Slot could be a contender. He was a contender for the Spurs job, and his Feyenoord won the league last season. I'm going to do a breakdown actually on him, not just for Chelsea. I think he's actually a really interesting character, but he won the league with Feyenoord last season, beating Ajax and PSV and such. And of course, Robert De Zerbi coming up. I will be doing a breakdown on him. He'll be my next big kind of scripted video, the Robert De Zerbi breakdown. Again, these won't just be like, oh, what they would do for Chelsea. These will just be not generic, but these will just be general manager breakdowns, going over how they took over their sides, going over what Arne Slot has built at Feyenoord, and going over how Robert De Zerbi has transformed Brighton into this powerhouse of a team. I'm really looking forward to doing those. But there is some other news. Some of you may know, but after the game, Eghbali went into the dressing room once again. Mauricio Pochettino ran 25 minutes late for his press conference on Friday, having met Begdad Eghbali for talks. Eghbali also went into the dressing room yesterday, although this has become standard practice, with some reports saying that he didn't go in there to shout at the players or to question the manager. He went in there to basically shake hands and, not acquaint himself because he knows the players, but just kind of, I don't know if there's a sign of respect. I mean, he should be shouting at them. I would be shouting at them if I was him, but I'm not a multi-billionaire owner, so who knows. But going back to the Moneyball comparisons to Todd Boehly and such, I really hope it does end up like that film, because I would love nothing more than to see Mauricio Pochettino take Chelsea to 20 games in a row, wins, unbeaten, bring us straight back up to the top, even when not win the league, but contend or make this massive comeback where everyone's like, oh, okay, so this project hasn't failed. But I'm really struggling to see that happening. I feel like we have taken on too many inexperienced players, and the balance is completely off. And the players who are experienced, the players like Thiago Silva and Raheem Sterling, they're not playing very well. Raheem Sterling missed quite a few sitters the other day. Thiago Silva was at fault for the goal. He's nearly 40, so you can't really expect him to be able to perform to the level he was able to do 10 years ago when he was in his prime. I mean, that's our own fault. We failed to recruit heavily in terms of experience. I think there was a policy even during the transfer window where we weren't going to sign anyone over the age of 25, which is just ridiculous. I don't know what they were thinking. You have to have balance in a side. It's like a football team is like a healthy diet. You got to have a mix of fats and vegetables and such to make it all go round. And at the moment, all they've got is chocolate and sweets. They all want the good stuff. They all want the next Neymar, but they don't want to have to deal with the bread and the potatoes and the cabbage. I don't know what I'm about, but you know what I mean. They have completely unbalanced the squad, and it's gonna take some time to find our feet. The January window will be coming up. We'll be able to sell, hopefully, a couple of players then. Conor Gallagher should go. Raheem Sterling should go, I think. Angelo Gabriel is doing really, really well at Strasbourg. I think he got man of the match. He's killing it over there. Thankfully, he's getting minutes. Not like Andre Santos, who I don't think he was even on the bench against us. It's just sad what's going on with Andre Santos and his loan. Hopefully, he'll be recalled in January as well. But I say give Angelo Gabriel the rest of the season at Strasbourg just to really develop. There's no need to rush him back into the side. There's no need to hamper his development. He's doing really well in Ligue 1. Let him get some confidence and then return to Chelsea in the summer. As I said, it does seem like Todd Boehly and Begdad Eghbali will be backing Mauricio Pochettino as things stand, but as we know in football and as we know from last season, this is exactly what we heard about Graham Potter. We heard things along the lines of the ownership have complete trust in Graham Potter and absolutely no chance he'll get sacked. I mean, the day he was sacked, I can't remember if it was Ben Jacobs or someone put out a report saying, I think it was going into the Liverpool match last season when Bruno Saltor came in, obviously. There was reports that morning from certain news outlets that Graham Potter was safe, that there was no changes, and that Potter was expected to lead Chelsea against Liverpool, and we saw how quickly things transpired then. So never say never. Pochettino could still get the sack. Keep an eye out for Hansi Flick and Arne Slot. That's all I'm going to say. But that does wrap up this video. If you like the video, make sure you like the video. Subscribe if you're new. How long do you think Mauricio Pochettino will be given? Do you think it'll be given to the end of the season? I would love to hear your thoughts. I'll be reading every comment. Make sure you enter the giveaway in the comment section down below. Pinned comment. It's a really cool prize. I've got one myself, and they are really cool. I've been The Quick Take, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.